The importance of health and fitness is considered a high factor in everyday life, not only for the benefit of a healthy lifestyle, but having the perfect body image is more imperative now due to a lot of celebrity endorsement through fitness DVDs and products. Whilst there are those who aim to obtain a slim and toned physique, there are others who take their body image to a much more extreme level. At the end of the 19th century, a new interest in muscle building arose with the intention of returning to the Greek ideal. During the 1940s and 50s, this sport became more popular but still remained an obscure concept. With the arrival of Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1966, many were inspired to follow in his footsteps. He won 4 Mr. Universe titles and 7 Mr. Olympia titles. These achievements earned him his place as a bodybuilding icon. We wanted to find out about the journey someone would have to go on to obtain this physique and lifestyle. We found ourselves in Birmingham meeting with a man who was in the early stages of his bodybuilding journey. "27-year-old George Thompson lives in Longbridge, Northfield. For the past year, he has been slowly working on his body but feels he needs expert advice to take it to the next stage. To get an idea of his current progress, we asked him about his daily dietary requirements and his fitness routine.
So I wake up at 8 o'clock, because I like to train early. I'll come downstairs, I'll have a protein shake, I'll make scrambled eggs and oats, because that gives me the nutrients and the energy I need to train on for that day. I go to the gym 5 days a week. I like to have 2 rest days. It allows my body to recover. I try and train each body part once a week. For example, I'll do legs on a Monday to try and give them as much attention as I can, and then follow on I could do arms and give them as much as well. I try and eat about 5 to 6 times a day, every 2 to 3 hours. I eat stuff like rice, fish, pasta, steak, chicken, potato, fruit. I just feel like them type of foods give me the nutrients I need for my body to put on muscle mass.
Following George, we went to his local bodybuilding gym, Ironworks, based in Kings Norton. Whilst here, we had the opportunity to have a look at some of his muscle building routine. For George to gain better knowledge on how best to train and become a bodybuilder, we met up with Birmingham-based professional Sean Blackwood. For many years, Sean has been on his own journey to keep achieving new levels in muscle development and has gained titles in UK-based competitions. As well as this, Sean works as a personal trainer, so he has extensive knowledge on dietary plans and training that will assist George on his personal development.
My name is Sean Blackwood. I'm 33 years old. I'm an amateur bodybuilder and I also work in retail as a loss prevention assistant. My career started in 2005, doing my first ever competition. Actually in 2005, I had 23 competitors in the show. So it was very nerve-wracking and very like, oh my God, am I really doing this, getting on stage? But it was a good experience and it was really exciting. And I was really lucky to win as well. Following that, I did the British Championships in 2005, where I came 3rd. So it was really, really good and a high to sort of finish on that. I then competed next year to continue that. And I've been competing sort of 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off sort of ever since then. I've had the last 2 years off and, maybe looking back to come back next year and, carry on. I think in this bodybuilding game, you always look for inspiration. You always look at people who, you like to see do things and you want to sort of mimic and do some of the things you can. Again, when you're compiling a routine, but for me on a more personal note, I try and think a bit more outside the box. So as far as I'm concerned, when you do a show, you do compulsories and that's sort of for the judges. But I think when you've got the crowd and the spectators coming and kind of watching, they could be watching, waiting for me to come on stage probably 6 hours, 7 hours. So it's a long process, and I think how much can you see the same double bicep and lat spread. So I think, like a Phil, having a music or a compilation of a minute routine where you're going to put some music, it shows a bit more heart and emotion. So whatever you kind of post to, it just gives that little per se of doing something that you really feel passionate about. One of the particular routines I kind of like to do sort of the robot kind of thing. So there's a particular one where I got particularly inspired by watching Universal Soldier, which has got Jean-Claude Van Damme, but more importantly it was about being commanded. So it was getting on the stage and, you know, it's kind of like a robot, if you want to kind of call it. So it was Universal Soldier, step forward, so I'm kind of walking. So that was just a little bit of added extra just to entertain the crowd.
Universal Soldier, step forward, please. Lock and load weapons.
You know, I enjoy doing it, so I just put myself into that situation where if I want to train, I want to fuel my body in the right way. So quality training, quality food is two important factors. Obviously resting, all the rest of it are going to be important factors to, you know, combine getting the physique that you want to achieve. The best advice I can give to somebody starting in bodybuilding is, first of all, trust yourself. 2, do your research, and more importantly, too many opinions come into the equation of this person said this one works, this person said this one works. You get very confused. So I think if you're going to have a training partner or a friend, or maybe somebody who's going to prep you as a coach to help you take you on that sort of path or that journey, and more importantly, you're doing something you enjoy. So enjoy doing what you're doing. Don't make it as a chore. Make it something you love. So if you learn to love the things you hate, then you love everything.
After meeting with Sean, we went back to George's to reflect on his decisions on becoming a bodybuilder.
First started training because I felt I was a skinny kid and I just wanted to get fit. So I went to the gym, started training, and I seen pictures on the wall and it gave me inspiration, so I wanted to get bigger. My inspiration is Arnold Schwarzenegger because I prefer his physique. I prefer the physiques from back in the 70s and the 80s to more of the blocky physiques you see nowadays. I like going to the gym because it enables me to meet new people. I just love the feeling of training. It's like a getaway from out of life, and I just love that pumped feeling when after I've trained. Yeah, I was skinny before, so I feel like it gives me more confidence in myself. I feel like I look better in clothes and vests, because before I couldn't wear vests because I didn't feel good. My plan is to keep on eating, training the way I'm doing now. I want to put on more size, diet down, ultimately do my first ever show next year. My long-term goals is I want to be a personal trainer. One day I'd like to own my own gym. I feel like bodybuilding is the way to fitness.
With George's hopeful plans to compete in a bodybuilding competition next year, he aims to use Sean's guidance and remain in contact with him throughout the process to ensure he is fully prepared. We plan to join George next year and document the progress of his journey.
Don't be afraid to fail. Anything I've ever attempted, I was always willing to fail. Don't be afraid of making decisions. You can't be paralyzed by fear of failure, or you will never push yourself. You keep pushing because you believe in yourself and in your vision. And you know that it's the right thing to do. Success will come, so don't be afraid to fail.